In the last few years, Jammu and Kashmir has become a hub for drugs. A recent study has revealed that Jammu and Kashmir has 0.6 million people involved in drug-related issues. Most of the drug users here are between the age of 17 to 33. Here's an exclusive ground report from the region.
In the last few years, drug abuse in Jammu and Kashmir is on the rise. The number of drug abusers have increased exponentially. There is a change in the pattern of drugs as well. Drugs like heroin, cocaine and brown sugar are available in the drug market. 90% of those enrolling in drug de-addiction centers are using heroin.
The numbers are still increasing. If we see our OPDs, hospital OPDs, we see around about 40 to 50 patients of addiction-related cases every day. And the kind of addiction we are seeing is very dangerous. Most of them are using illicit drugs like heroin, brown sugars, and that too through a very dangerous mode. That's they are taking these drugs through injection mode, and which is very dangerous.
A meeting was called by the Chief Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir, where the state-level committee of the Narco Coordination Center outlined a proposal for tackling the drug menace in the Union Territory. In a survey in Kashmir Valley's two districts of Srinagar and Anantnag, 18,000 people were found using drugs. Such a high proportion of users in these two districts alone set off alarm bells.
In our one of the surveys which was done by our institute in two districts of Srinagar and Anantnag, in that we found around 18,000 people were using these substances, and most of them were using illicit substances, that's heroin. And in that we found that around 3.5 crores rupees were spent by these patients every day for procuring these illicit substances.
The drug addicts who are being treated at the government de-addiction center in Srinagar say that drugs are easily available across the Kashmir Valley. Once they get addicted to these substances, they go to any extent to get them. One such story is that of Shaukat Ahmed Sheikh. He was about to sell his baby as he was falling short of money to get drugs. He even took the advance payment to sell his own baby for money so that he could buy drugs.
It used to be cheap earlier, but now it's become expensive. Every household has one addict, and I have been on drugs for 3 years. I used to work as a laborer, and I used to spend all my money on drugs. During that period, my wife was pregnant, and when she delivered the baby in the hospital, I tried selling my own child to make money to get drugs. I was in the hospital, and some ladies asked me if I could find them a couple to give them a child, and hearing this, I decided to sell my own baby.
The Jammu and Kashmir police has recovered illicit drugs from various parts of the Union Territory worth crores of rupees. The police say that most of these drugs come from Pakistan across the border. Many such consignments were recovered from across the valley, including from areas close to the line of control, like Kupwara and Uri. Some consignments were found even in the Paunch sector.
The government of Jammu and Kashmir has decided for a multifaceted strategy to deal with the menace of drug addiction in Jammu and Kashmir. With the numbers rising every day, the government has finally sprung into action and are taking on the drug dealers. They've also started making new drug de-addiction centers across every district of Jammu and Kashmir. With video journalist Feroz Idris Lone for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.